welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Shanae Williams back at it again for another episode of Shanae Space.
Get strong.
Today we're spitballing. I was going through my TikTok the other day. I was just going through. I love looking at videos myself. I'm definitely one of those people. Like, I know y'all be seeing the videos or like the posts that be like, or even the TikToks that be like, I'll make a video and post it to my story, and then I'll like keep rewatching it. Like, yeah, that was good. Like, I love me. Like, so yeah, I've always been like that. I really laugh the hardest at my own jokes. Like, not in front of people. I feel like this is going on a tangent, but I feel like when I'm in front of people, I don't laugh at the hardest at my jokes. I think my jokes are funny, but I feel like I'm the type of like funny that allows other people to laugh if they think it's funny, and then I'll laugh with them. Like, if I think my joke is funny, I'll say it. You know what I'm saying? But I let people react before I react. Anyway, not the point. Today we're talking about basically on my TikTok I was talking about this was me like during the summer, guys. I'm probably gonna bring up the fucking last summer mad times because it was good. It was a good ass summer, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and it was just really mainly me by myself. Like, yeah, I had my little girlfriend. Shorty was all the way in Florida. Like, I barely was seeing that shorty. Like, but it was so nice. It was so nice. Like, just being with myself and taking time for myself and like spending time with myself and stuff like that. I just recently had spring break. I think that's when I made my last video for y'all. It was during spring break that I made it, I think. Pretty sure, because I filmed it on March 17th. So today is March. Today's not March. Today is April 4th. But yeah, anyway, all just aside from the point. The point is, excuse me, just came from eating. The point is that I had a great time this summer. And during the summer, I was just really into myself. And so I was really talking about things I really cared about. You know what I'm saying? And like, I have this sign on my wall. Like, it's not really a sign. It's like a, it's a like erase board or whatever. You know, like how you write your like to-do list. But like, it's like the one that you can like erase. So I have one of those. And honestly, I don't use it for that at all. Not really. But I have something on there that says like, what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, I be having so much to talk about. I be having so much to say, but recently I've been feeling kind of not, I swear we're going to circle back to TikTok, but recently I've been feeling like, I don't be knowing what to talk about to y'all. Like, I don't know what to say to y'all. I don't know what to say. And it's just like, I'm like, yeah, I could put out more content, and I could, share my poetry, and I could share this, and I could share that, but it's like, maybe I need to share something new. Maybe I just need to share something I really give a fuck about. And something like, I had started this page. I don't know what the intention was actually for starting this page. I have no clue. I think I just was finally ready to do it. But I didn't know really what I was going to talk about. I thought I was going to talk about the same things I talk about on my story, or would have talked about on my story. But this page has become kind of like a slightly philosophical, like lessons of life, moments, stories, and sharing. Like, that's really what it's become, which is me. But I mean, we're gonna continue down this path. But basically, I was watching my TikTok, and there was another point. The other point was that I think I'll get there. We're going back to this one. Watching my TikTok, and I saw a video of me talking about like food insecurity when I was up first. I had another video of talking about how little black boys are not protected in our society. A lot of children are not protected in our society, but I was specifically talking about little black boys because I was talking about how black men, just like rappers and like anybody who's like has a not just because the video was on Steve Harvey, but it's just like, you know, men who have made it to a certain place that have like publicity and like, you know, celebrity type status in this world, they tell stories about their childhood or like something, and it's just like, that was crazy. But they like see it as a means of something that had made them a man or something they clearly were never able to unpack, and they had to just make it a part of their life as something that was okay. Like, no, you were traumatized and it's okay to talk about that. Like, but they never had space to do that. So that one of my videos was about that. But the video that wasn't about that, because I'm not gonna start there. I think I'm gonna get to that sort of stuff later, like more like in depth about problems in our goddamn society. But first I'm gonna start with problems with me, because those are easiest. Y'all see my I don't know if y'all see it, but maybe I'll zoom in or something. But I got a new jewelry. It's a firefly. Anyway, okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna talk about all that stuff. Like, yeah, I feel like it's better to be able to talk about myself and like start there and like relate there to y'all, you know, because I know a lot of y'all have been through a lot of things, and I've been through a lot of things. And the point that I was trying to tie back to earlier as well was the fact that right, so I was talking about food insecurity on my TikTok, because that's something I've struggled, like I have struggled with slash have endured, have suffered from, through, I don't know the wording, but the point is I had to deal with that. And like there's like after effects to that, you know what I'm saying? There's just, and that's what I was talking about the after effects on my TikTok. And how I realized it in my life and like whatever. But yeah, and I was watching my TikTok and I was watching myself talk about these things, or like different things, like, because I also ended up talking about like my ex-girlfriend, like the one who I labeled as toxic, and I was just like reading some of like this journal that I had. Basically I was kind of reading a journal and like stuff that I had answered or questions. It was like prompts and stuff, and I was just reading what I had written, and it was like so painful, you know, like I read it out loud and I was like, wow, like shorty was going through a lot. And it's just like, and I had said in the video how like when I read back these things, because I've journaled for a long time, like I've been journaling for a minute, since I was like elementary school, and I think like elementary school, but like elementary school slash like middle school, definitely journaling was a thing in my life. So just for like to go back and read those things, and I've always had the habit of going back and reading and like trying to see who I was, not even trying to see, but like seeing who I was and like what I was thinking and remembering the moments and stuff like that. And like, you know, sometimes I would like write back to myself and be like, things are better now, or like we're still dealing with this, you know, like I love me, like I said. Anyway, so basically I had said in the TikTok video that because during the summer I was feeling great, like I feel great now. During the summer I was like chef's kiss, and it was just like I forget sometimes how I think the exact wording of something I said was like, I forget that life was really kicking me in my stomach. Like life was beating my fucking ass, y'all. Like I was not okay. Like I was not okay. And we're gonna jump into that. Like it's not even, we're not gonna jump into that like trauma dumping, but we're gonna jump into like different aspects of life not being okay, because it's like so many people go through these things, and I feel like there's value in sharing. But the other thing that I was thinking as I was watching these videos back to myself the other day, I was like, damn, like I really an anger was inside of me, or like an anger was in me and my stomach, and it was like kind of like I'm not gonna be silenced type, like that's what it felt like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I feel like anyone's silencing me, but part of it is also like I was saying how at the beginning of this page that I wanted to kind of not talk about people that I have unresolved things with, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's been resolved, I'll talk about it. But then there's family, you know what I'm saying? And it's like is it resolved? So it's just like, but it's like, why am I gonna stop myself from talking about something, about my story, about my side? Not even my side, but just like I feel like the point is I'm definitely gonna talk about these things, and my parents are involved. My parents, my family, my whoever was in my life is involved. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. But I'm going to talk about them in the way that I'm like not trying to attack the person, you know, because a lot of the relationships with my family right now, and just in general, for real, they're like kind of like, I don't know if the word is estranged. They're just like, I guess I can call them, you know, I'll call them, I guess, like, but like not too much. It's not like they really know the ins and outs of my life or anything like that, and it's not like I'm really like being supported by them like that. Like, no. Like, I'm supporting me, the universe supporting me right now, like really, really. When it comes to like, you know, maybe they'll send me like a gift or something, which is nice. I always appreciate it, you know, like in whatever form. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to like real life, true, dead ass, for real support, like mental health, emotional health, financial health, like that's all me. That's all me. And so at the end of the day, I feel like although I may have relationships with them, like obviously I do want better relationships with them, but I'm not finna shy away from talking about what I have to talk about. I'm not finna shy away from it, because these are the things that have made me me. Like, these are the things that contributed to my trauma and the good things too, but it's just like, you know, these have contributed to making the person you see before you today. So we're finna jump into one, and this one's not even too deep. We're gonna jump into food insecurity. I want to jump into food insecurity because it lets me ease into talking about like family and stuff, and it's like not really like so much. It doesn't feel like any like pointing fingers or anything, but I feel like I'll touch on other things too, you know, like by accident, and then we'll just have to jump into that. But right now, Shanae has energy for food insecurity because I feel slightly healed from it. Slightly. There's like I mean, let's just keep it a bug. So like I said, I'm from the Bronx. I'm pretty sure don't hate on me, but not hate on me because I'm saying don't hate on me because I said I'm pretty sure. But people make me question myself all the time. But the people be like, what part of the Bronx? I be like, I lived all over the Bronx, but I'll say South Bronx because I'm pretty sure that's where I'm from. But where's everything? I'll give you locations. I'll give you locations. I used to live like by, not really by there, like I'm gonna give you some train stations and you do your own math. Like, and like, so like, let's say train stations I would walk to my house from, and the walk was not like extremely close, but like West Farm Square, East Tremont Avenue, and then 174th, 180th, East 180th. You know what I'm saying? Those are 3 calm train stations in that area. BX 42, 4042, Crotona Park, real close to me. You know what I'm saying? You know the school 318, near there. You know what I'm saying? But that's like one area. That's where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? And then like before that, not before, after that. I mean, the place before that I don't remember, but it was also kind of within the same stretch of area. Like then after that I lived in Parkchester, and then after that I lived near Parkchester. So it was just like, you know what I'm saying? But that's the rundown. Either way, all that to say, my relationship to food. I love food to this day. I loved food when I was a kid. I loved my mom's cooking. Ugh, chef's kiss. My favorite meal was fried chicken and yellow rice. And broccoli. Fried chicken, yellow rice, and broccoli. Yeah, that was definitely my fave. I loved when my mom would make it. She'd put in this certain dish. I have a poem kind of. I have a little poem about that kind of. Not specifically about the food, but like I had the details of the food. But I have so many memories in this place. I love that place. 1912 Prospect Avenue apartment. Don't run up on anybody there. I know nobody who lives there now. But that was me. That was definitely where I lived. 10457. It feels a little wrong to like disclose this address, but I don't live there no more. Like, I have like no ties to that place anymore. Not no ties to like my heart, but like no like physical ties. Like there's nothing there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like physically. But that was my apartment. I mean apartment. That's where I lived. And so yeah. Um yeah. Either way, I I was telling this story to a friend the other day, and I've told this story a few times, but I honestly I used to think that like we were type rich, like compared to like my friends and stuff. Like when I was in middle school, middle school is really when the food insecurity stuff started happening. I didn't think anything of our living situation or anything. Like we had mad people in the crib, me, my two older sisters, my older brother, my mom, my dad, and then my little sister was born. Boop. I think that's 6 of us, right? Me, my mom, my dad, sisters, brother. Huh? Me, my mom, my dad, sister, brother, another sister. 7 of us. 2-bedroom apartment. Okay? I didn't think nothing of it. I loved it. I loved it. Loved. Right? But like after the end of 5th grade, kind of my family broke apart. My brother moved to live with my granny, who has now passed. And then my 2 sisters kind of stopped coming over as much. They kept living with their mom. You know, their mom lived down the block, I'm not gonna lie, you know. And then like my little sister, like my dad, I don't know what it was. Like my dad wasn't picking her up, she wasn't getting picked up. I don't know what's going on. But I stopped seeing her as much. But when she would come over, it was nice. But it was a lot for me to not be around my family, you know what I'm saying? Now we're not talking about food insecurity, but that's okay. But it was a lot for me to not be around my family, especially growing up with like a house full of people, you know, to play with. And just to you know, bounce personalities off of. It's really nice. I'm not gonna lie, like it's something, but it's nice too. So either way, but to go to from that to like just me and my dad, because my mom basically got kicked out the crib, and so to go from that to just me and my dad, that was something. The funny thing is, like, most of my friends and stuff, they have like not siblings, they have like parents, and most people I feel like have the story of where their parents are like, you know, it's a single parent situation, but it's usually always their mom that is with them. But for me it was different. It was me and my dad, you know what I'm saying? Like to be very, very truthful, pretty much for the, at least because of the way things happen, you know, all my life my dad has been in it, like pretty much. Only probably the last 2 or last few years, or maybe last 2 years of like high school I wasn't living with my dad, but that was it. Like that was kind of it. Then yeah, once I head off to college, I was like, I'm not living with none of y'all. Like I'm done. I'm actually finished. So yeah, and here I am about to graduate. We're not gonna go there. We're just gonna hope for the best. But yeah, wild. I feel like I'm doing a fucking interview. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, people had a different story than me, but you know, it is what it is. So it was me and my dad, and like sometimes it was really good, but other times his temper gets the best of him sometimes. I feel like, actually I'm not even gonna talk about him now. Like we're separating the person he is now from the person he was. You know what I'm saying? We're only gonna talk about him in the past. And we're just gonna let him, you know, I feel like, you know, people change every day, but I'm gonna just let every story be a story from the past. And obviously things have changed, but also there's, everybody's core is their core, and like how they act out and whatever, it comes along with the person. But we're speaking about the past dad. Basically, like, his temper would get the best of him, and I feel like, you know, like I'm pretty sure most of us, all the people who are probably watching us, except, you know, some of my friends who were very fortunate, but for all my peers living in the Bronx, for damn sure you got your ass beat, and I was no exception. I was no exception. But there's like levels, you know what I'm saying? There's like, oh, getting your ass beat, but then like, you know, parents be taking it too far. Now they're really beating your ass, you know what I'm saying? And that was a problem that came up later on for sure. And I'm like, I'm sure, you know, like at the end of the day, like the way I see it now is just like, obviously, yeah, okay, my parents could have been doing their fucking best. And at the end of the day, that's okay. It's good for you to do your best. I'm grateful you did your very best, but your best do not have to like your best to me. Would I treat my kids like that? No. Absolutely not. You're sick. You're sick. You're sick. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. Did I mention it was sick? But yeah, like no, that's not gonna be me. That's wild. But you know, like even there, and I had said this, my friend had said this to me the other day, I think, or maybe actually no, I think I saw somebody, me feeling too close to these people on TikTok, but I think somebody on TikTok actually had said it. She was like, yo, like I could have a kid right now. She was like, I could have a kid right now, but the scary part is, it doesn't matter how good of a parent I try to be, like it's really like, basically there's a chance that it's not going to be enough for my kids. And I'm like, I feel you, like, you know what I'm saying, like there is always going to be fault, or like I wish you had done this better, or whatever, you know, it's, relationships take conversation and building and growth and all this extra and like whatever, you know, some people are fortunate, some people are not, some people have the capabilities to be a parent, some people don't. I think my dad is a good dad. I think my dad was a good dad, because we're doing past. I think my mom was a good mom, and then she gave up. Like I think she was a good mom, and then she got to a point where she was like, actually, I hate this job, I hate everything about it, and I'm tired of this shit. Fuck everybody. And that's okay, you know, sometimes that's the way to feel, but like to feel that while you're still like, you know, like Shanae hasn't reached 18 is a lot. Shanae didn't even reach like, let me get out this crib yet. It's kind of a lot, but you know, these are the circumstances I was given. So anyway, back to the story. So my dad definitely got abusive at times, for sure. That's the only reason I didn't, like, I had to basically move out, or like I felt the need to move out to move out in high school and live with my mom instead. But then my mom brought a whole mess of other stuff to the table. It was like, you either get physically abused or you get like verbally, mentally abused. Like who's the winner here? But you know, I took my blows to the face and I kept it going. Like I was like, okay, if it's not gonna be this situation, I'm gonna be this situation, and we're gonna do what we have to do. I was always optimistic. I was always optimistic, for real. Even when I really wanted to end my life, I was very optimistic. But at least like with my mom, like with my dad, I'm really trying to like keep it balanced how I talk about both my parents, because it's like I see the flaws and I see the good in both of them, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, and I have seen it, and I've always tried to see it, you know. I've always tried to see it, always is strong. But at a certain point I was like, I definitely did try to see it. I feel like with my mom, like she to this day will still talk about, this is not about food insecurity, but to this day she will still talk about kind of like, I feel like, you know, she just, to this day, she still feels, or like still talks about kind of like how I think I would treat her. And like she had always brought this up, like how she felt that I saw maybe my dad as a better parent than her. But at the end of the day, like, I do think I didn't give her enough credit for the things she did do, and it's really, but it's just, it was so hard to see, you know what I'm saying? It was so hard to see, not because I didn't remember us like having fun together when I was younger, or like doing nice things, or like, you know, all the hugs and like making sure we walk places, taking all my siblings. And mind you, like that's not all her kids. She only has 2 kids. She only has my brother, and she has me. My other sister is extra fun family, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not for her, I don't know, but for me, love it. So it's just, you know, taking all these kids places and walking and making sure we're active and all this stuff, like all this work she was putting in to be a you know, a parent, a person, somebody who takes care of kids, you know, making sure she fed us and stuff, and her food was bomb, you know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff, like I'm sure she doesn't feel like she got enough credit for that. And you know what, word. And then it's also like, you know, I feel like there were other things, you know, because when it came down to stuff, like if I really needed something, and she would probably, I feel like at the end of the day she would always give me something, You know, not always. Not always. Always is strong. But the point is, like, when it came down to really, really, really needing something, like, say I really needed lunch money, not lunch money, but, like, you know, like, I'm going on a trip, she was just more, like, type responsible, you know what I'm saying? Like, she made sure, like, certain stuff got done. My dad, on the other hand, he also has that quality, but it comes out in a different way, you know what I'm saying? Like, my dad, like, he worked 2 jobs, bro. He was working overnight, you know what I'm saying? Like, he made, like, he loves movies, and so, like, he would take us to the movie theater on the weekend and stuff, every weekend, regardless of if he was tired, for real. But I know he loves movies, and I know he probably slightly mainly did it for himself, but also, like, I'm sure he also did it for us, like, and it was just family bonding. And, like, he would kind of tell us, it's something that sticks with me now to this day, like, he would tell us, what is it, he would tell us, what would he tell us? Like, some days we'd be in the house for too long, or, like, we'd be in the house, like, too many days in a row. He'd be like, y'all need to go get some fresh air. I hated him saying that. But that is real life. Like, fresh air is so real. Like, first of all, when you're in the Bronx, fresh air don't feel fresh. But out here, fresh air is real. Fresh air is needed. It's just so funny. Like, some of the things he said and, like, would say, like, it really feels like it don't apply until later. And they're applying, that's for damn sure. But either way, we're really getting aside the point, but we're saying a lot, so I'm not upset. But yeah, my dad, like, he was just a hard worker. Like, that's really who he was. He was a hard worker, and he was a funny, charismatic man. He still is. But, you know, past people. We're talking about the past. But yeah, that was good. It was good stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think it's nice that I've been able to distance myself from, like, them, you know, to be able to see them as wholes, for real. And, like, even my dad, the thing is, probably the reason my mom also feels like, the things my mom probably doesn't see about how, like, I don't know, maybe one, her not getting enough credit, we can circle back to that. The point was, like, when it comes to certain stuff, like, if I really needed money for something, like, she'd be like, alright, she'll scrounge together and get the money, you know what I'm saying? Even if she couldn't get the whole thing, she'll, like, try her best to make the money happen. That's her thing, and I really appreciate that. And, like, very much appreciated. Probably don't say it enough, definitely don't say it enough, definitely haven't said it, period. Here it is. But when it comes to my dad, he used to be more like that at a certain time. My dad has been an inconsistent type of person. Like, he could work mad hard and all this other stuff, but, like, I feel like if you don't remind him of something mad times, then you're not gonna get what you need. You're not finna get what you need. You're not finna get it. Like, if you're really not damn near an agonist man, you're not finna get it. But at the end of the day, you know, you had a place to stay. Like, you had a place to stay. And you did not always have food to eat, okay? Now we're so good. We circled back. We made it back. So basically, whatever, my family splits apart, and I was gonna tell this story about how, like, you know, when I was a kid, basically, like, I mean, we have a few struggle meals, whatever, when there was, like, nothing in the house, but I never even saw it like that either. Like, I never saw it really as a struggle meal. I never really, like, I just thought we were just being creative, and we were, very much, give us our props. But it was just, like, you know, like, it was just nice. But there were, like, things I wouldn't notice, for real, that, like, I noticed later when I started to realize, like, I started to feel my food insecurity, which was, like, after, in middle school type stuff. So basically, like, one thing that I was telling my friend the other day was, like, yeah, when I would come home from school, like, they started letting me walk to school and from school by myself, like, in, like, 5th grade, or, like, or 3rd, 4th, whatever. The school was, like, across the street. Like, it was across the street, like, not even, like, you could see it. You could see it off my block. And so we would, basically, I'd come home, supposed to call them, let them know I'm home, you know what I'm saying, because usually I think nobody would be there. So I'll call, be like, hey, home from school. My dad would be like, okay, cool, you know, how was your day, you know, probably not too long, for real, on the phone, and be like, how was your day, blah blah blah, make sure you eat. And I'd be like, I just want to eat a PB&J. He'd be like, no, eat some real food. Your mom just cooked last night, or make sure you eat some ramen or something like that, right? And I'd be like, oh, okay, you know? And then I go ahead and I feed myself. But then other days, I come back into the house, you know, same routine. I get on the phone with him, and he'd be like, all right, make sure you eat a PB&J. I was like, I thought that wasn't real food. I thought that wasn't real food, but that's how you could differentiate what weeks we were struggling and what weeks we weren't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you mean? Just last week, PB&J wasn't real food. Why am I allowed to eat this today? Like, I don't get it. But I never put the dots together until later. It's so funny. I was just like, okay, like this, he don't make no sense. Like, he's just making shit up. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. But I ate my PB&J. I called it a day. Like, I didn't give a damn. I was eating. But I was eating. Then comes middle school. Basically, my family breaks apart. Pretty sad. Pretty traumatic. But it doesn't feel like trauma in the moment. You know, I don't even know if trauma really be feeling like trauma in the moment. Like, it takes you time to, like, you trying to, like, go on with your life, and suddenly you have all these triggers, and you're like, what is this about? What is happening? This did not bother me last week. So, yeah, basically, you know, as I'm adjusting to this new life with my dad, he tells me, and tells my sisters too, who, like, really were not coming over to the house that much, but he tells us, you know, like, there's some lady he wants to marry or something. Mind you, my dad, his whole art, the whole career of us being his kids, when I was younger at least, he always said he was not going to get married. He always said he wasn't going to marry any of our moms. He always said, like, that we were not going to get married or date people until we were 40 years old. Like, he had only had daughters at the time, so, because my brother is not his, like, my older brother is not his, but I have a little brother now, so that is his. But either way, he is his. Either way, so yeah, that was his thing. That was a hill he would die on. Never finna get married. Then he went ahead and revived and left the hill because he decided to go ahead and decide he wanted to marry some shorty and then go ahead and marry her. Like, what? I didn't really care because I just didn't care. I didn't really care. My sisters were upset about it, you know. But it was funny, like, I didn't care, and then I had to start caring because I was the one who ended up living with her. Like, it was me and my dad and her son, one of her sons. And it was like, you know, whatever, fine. But once we moved in together, bro, food insecurity. Yo, she worked at Costco, right? She worked at Costco. Like, if you don't know what Costco is, it's like a wholesale grocery type of store. Like, they got mad food there. She would bring home groceries, like, damn near every damn day. Like, she always bring home something. You know, when you work there, you get discounts. I'm assuming that's why she always brought home food. But she would bring home whatever she wanted, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes she would be like, oh my god, y'all should taste this, whatever. I don't remember much of that, but I do remember sometimes, like, oh my god, taste this. But most times, it was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm tasting certain food. Like, I like certain food in the crib. Sorry, I just really don't want to repeat myself. But so I say repeat myself because my video actually got cut off and I was talking for 20 minutes without it. On top of that, I'm remembering other things. Basically, she would be, like, nitpicky about what I was eating in the crib. So, like, I'd eat certain things in the crib because I liked it. And she couldn't cook, bro. Like, I don't know if somebody was lying to her or something, but she was a horrible cook. Awful, bad, trash. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it wasn't good. Because I told y'all my mom's food, chef's kiss. Bro, if I ate that, I'd have been, no, hospitalized. I'm a joke, but anyway, I just didn't like the food at all. It was really bad. And the worst part was that it smelled really good every time she was cooking. It was horrible. The only thing I felt like she could cook was Brussels sprouts, which didn't cost too much. Like, not cost too much, but it wasn't too hard to make. And potato salad. I loved her potato salad. I love potatoes. So, whatever, but that's all she could make. You know what I'm saying? Fried chicken. Sick to my stomach, bro. Sick to my stomach. Nights without eating because she would cook. bro, daddy, get in the kitchen. Like, it was bad, bro. It was bad. But outside of her cooking, and like, it's not like it was super often, but when she would cook trash food, didn't like it. And she constantly cooked things I didn't like. Like, I feel like on purpose. I remember telling her, yeah, I don't like meatloaf. I hated ketchup. And she would make, I feel like she would make the meatloaf with ketchup on top. I didn't even know that was a thing. My mom never made it like that because of the fact that, I think because of the fact that I didn't like ketchup. But maybe she didn't like ketchup that much either. The rest of the people in my house loved ketchup when I was a kid. My mom, it's not like she had a aversion to ketchup. I hated ketchup. But I was the only person who hated ketchup. And she like, you know, just, you know, I'm pretty sure that's why she didn't put no ketchup on the thing. Which, props to you. But either way, yeah, she would just make, I tell her I don't like something, and then all of a sudden she'd be making that. Like, you serious? And she'd be like, oh, I thought you liked this. No, I told you I didn't like it. Anyway, that was stupid. But yeah, I cannot. I cannot, like. Either way, she would be nitpicky about what I would eat in the crib. So she would be like, I start eating something like, she used to bring home like these, like, you know, Jamaican beef patties, the hot ones, you know, like golden crust type. Oh, the microwavable ones. Chef's kiss, bro. She bring home those. I'm eating too many of them. This is the only thing that tastes good in the crib, bro. One, the only thing that tastes good in the crib. I'm trying to get that. Then, when I feel like, especially when my dad was around, she would like, when they're like together and stuff, she'd be like, oh, Shanae, you know you can eat this in the you know you can eat that's in the cabinet, or you can eat this or whatever. It would always be something that's expired. Why am I living with a fucking menace right now? Like, why am I living with a literal menace? Like, why is Shorty trying to end my physical life? Like, yo, like, I'm a middle schooler. Like, come on. And she was an insecure person too. Like, me and my sister both saw it. Well, yeah, my sister, one of my older sisters. But it was just like, what, bro? But one of the things she also did outside of, you know, trash food, freaking bringing home food and really putting locks on it, and not like literally, but you know, like, and then trying to point out expired food for me to eat. Yeah. Outside of that, she also would call my dad, right? She would call my dad and she would tell him, basically to, she would tell him that I'm eating too much food in the crib, or eating too much of certain foods in the crib. And he would call me, like, when we get on the phone, you know, and I'm like, hey, I'm like home from school, like, whatever, yeah. He like, make sure you eat, you know, that's his thing. Which I appreciate, because I love eating. But I was not able to. But yeah, like, I think maybe the whole thing got cut off because I started going into another chat about something completely different. But the universe is funny. So maybe I won't go that exact same way. I'll talk about food insecurity and really dig into it today, because we weren't digging into it a little bit before. But clearly my parents are going to be talked about on this channel. And if you have a problem with it, stop watching. Sorry. But yeah, basically, what was it? Yeah, she would call him and be like, oh, Shanae's eating too much of this and that in the crib. And then when we're talking on the phone, he'd be like, you know how she is, like, you know, try not to eat this or that. Bro, not only is the food absolutely garbage, trash, basura, stinky booty cheeks, like, what? But now the only things that taste good I can't eat, and only expired food is available to me. She works at a grocery store. Like, I was really sick to my tum. My stomach is prime, bro. Sick to my stomach is prime. So, at the end of the day, what I will say about that is, one, you know, like, how are you gonna... This is a critique for my father. But it was just like, I definitely think I told him a bit about that. I don't know if I feel like I told him a bit about this. Like, I feel like we were able to have a conversation kind of about this. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but, anyway, my dad had, held my feelings emotionally better than my mother My mother did other things better than my dad, but my dad held my emotional, mental health better for a period of time. Either way, we'll see if that's even relevant to this. But the point is, yo, how are you gonna support a menace over your child? How are you gonna, one, bring a menace into the crib, move in with a menace, and then side with them? Like, what? How do you bring somebody I can't trust into the crib? How do you bring somebody who's starving your kid into the crib? What? Bro, what? Like, and at some point, he really did realize, you know, damn, Shanae's really not eating type shit. Because he used to offer me, mind you, he would, bro, you know, my dad, like, I don't know, like, at some point, it started to feel like we were pinching pennies. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was younger, when I was a little kid, I thought we were rich. I knew we weren't rich, but I thought it felt like we were rich compared to, like, all my homies at school. Like, I was like, I'm living. Not all of them, but, you know, like, I felt like I was doing good. You know, I could get this, I could do this. Not even get as much, but, like, you know, it felt like I was not in poverty. And so, either way, you know, going to the movies every weekend, like, that's not poverty to me. Like, that's luxurious. That felt real luxurious to me. But, either way, like, just, he would start asking me, like, oh, like, you want food from outside? Like, he stopped, you know how, like, our parents would be like, oh, you know, there's food at home? Bro, he stopped saying that to me. Like, he'd be like, you want food from outside? You want me to get you something? You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew I wasn't eating, bro. He knew. I'm just like, how you let this menace live in our crib and let me live with her and let her starve me? How you do that? What's the vibe? Be for real. But that was a part of the story. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of it. And along with that, because we're tying it back into food insecurity, because when I talk about my mom, we're going to get into my mom too, or like into like certain things, whatever. It's not even to get into my mom. It's not really to talk about them specifically. It's not about to talk about their character specifically. It's about to talk about how it affected me. The effects it had on my life. So today we're talking about food insecurity, and, you know, I see the flaws in both of them, and we'll get there. Point is, food insecurity. Food insecurity lived at my mother's house too. Please don't get it wrong. Please don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. When I was living with her, Shorty did not want to cook for me. And Shorty did not want to teach me how to cook. I'm like, how are you gonna tell me, oh, no, like, I don't want to make food, blah, blah. Alright, so teach me how to cook. No. What? Only time Shorty tried to teach me how to cook, or tried to volunteer to teach me how to cook, was on Thanksgiving. What? Why would you try to teach me how to cook on a holiday where the food really matters? Bro, why couldn't you just teach me how to cook last week? Like, I don't get it. What are we talking about? I told you I can't cook rice. You telling me you can't teach me that real quick? You can't be in the kitchen. I'm a visual learner. You can't show me that real quick? For real. Anyway, I taught myself and I'm living life. But the point is, my mom also had to teach herself things. I'm like, why would you want your kid to have to go through exactly what you went through? Be for real. Anyway, back to food insecurity with my dad. So basically, living with my dad, still in the Bronx, you know, middle school, we moved places. I'm in Parkchester now. And so really what it came down to, it was survival crimes time. Like, my dad is a very charismatic person, period. And he had always been, period. And he would get free food, and, like, you know, we go to McDonald's and he'd be like, I really love this about his character. It made me laugh all the time. But he would be like, you know, he would just be getting free shit. He'd be like, let me get a free, you know, we go to Dunkin' Donuts. He'd be like, let me get a free bow tie donut. But he don't say it like that. But, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, like, just throwing in. Like, what? You said that, not me. Like, whatever. And they'd be throwing it in. You know, he'd be flirting with the people, whatever. I do that same shit now. And I had to pick up on the skills my dad had displayed to me visually. Not on purpose. But I had to pick up on it, basically, to use it at this part of my life, because now I'm food deprived. I'm hungry as fuck every day, bro. Can I tell you, like, I am so hungry after school, bro. And it's not like I have mad bread or anything, you know what I'm saying? After school, we go to the pizza shop, you know what I'm saying? With our little gang of friends, we go to the pizza shop. We're getting $1 slices, because this is New York City, guys. We're getting our $1 slices, you know what I'm saying? Putting hot sauce on it. Mom. Or we started taking a different route, walking a different way. We started eating, we just, you know, we were just chilling. It was fun times. But, you know, if we didn't go to the pizza shop and we didn't go to Papa John's, then we was finna go to this fry shop that opened up that also, I think, served pizza. But we mostly got french fries from there. I don't know if it's her pizza. Not sure. I know it was. We call it the fry shop because it had French fries. So we would go in there. They didn't have no cameras. Peak stealing time. So they didn't have no cameras, not enough staff. But not even not enough staff. It's just there was so many of us. There was a horde of children coming out of freaking middle school. It's like 10 of us. You know what I'm saying? Mob deep. And we're all there, you know what I'm saying? Some of us got bread. My friend, he was a drug dealer. He definitely had bread on him all the time, 400 minimum. So he had beanies on him, right? And like, I was so hungry. Okay, I was telling my friend this story the other day too. Basically, like, I had a friend I was close to, and the drug dealer friend, he liked the one of the girls I was friends with, and so to show off to her, he would pay for her food and he would pay for mine. Bro, that blessed. And she was gonna tell me, she was trying to tell me, she was like, no, I feel like I should tell him I don't like him no more. I was like, what? Do not tell him that. I was like, do not tell him that. He buys you food and buys me food because he likes you. Don't tell him. Like, if you tell him you don't like him and there's no chance he's gonna stop buying me food, how am I supposed to eat? Like, and I was always very forward. And she thought I was just joking because at this time also, although I was really struggling, people really was not listening to me. And you know, if you really don't got a joke to crack, or you don't got something funny to say for real in the Bronx, like, or if you're not roasting somebody, if you're not, you know what I'm saying, like, if you're not really about to ha he it up, like, shut up. So I had to get into my funny bag, you know what I'm saying? So I was joke city, bro. Joke city, making people, you know, trying out my little ha he's. People are laughing, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my struggles at home. Bro. This is how I came into writing, actually. But I'm talking about my struggles at home. Everybody's laughing at what I'm saying. Nobody's hearing me. Guys, I'm not eating. I'm hungry, guys. Please. But either way, shorty laughs. And she's like, ha, like, I'm like, bro, like, my stomach is rumbling right now. But either way, we go into the fry shop, and like, either when he would pay for me or not, and I would ask him to pay for me or wouldn't, or whatever, didn't matter. I'd go ahead and I would, since there was so many of us like would steal too, or steal a drink or something, whatever. We'd order mad fries, or maybe 2-3 people would order fries, and then we'd take the fries. Like, only maybe 1 or 2 of us end up paying. You know what I'm saying? I'd never fucking pay. I'd never pay because I didn't have the fucking bread to pay. I was hungry as fuck and I needed food. And so I would just take the fries off the counter. And most of us, like, we knew the deal. But I would take the fries off the counter, you know, put whatever in, leave. Or we stay in the shop and, like, you know, whatever, eating it up, hiding it type. They just didn't have cameras. Like, that was really their fatal flaw. Because we got this whole group of kids, they're still steady making fries. We're like, oh no, we never got it. Bro, be fry. That was like a daily activity. I was eating fries every day. Fries, pizza. Please. Yo, and even when it came to like Papa John's and stuff, like certain places, like I'd be going there like so much, and I really had to think about debt. Like I really never wanted to be like in debt to somebody and stuff like that, like because my mom had brought it up so much about her like student loans and stuff. She's like, I'm in debt. Like she would always bring that up anytime I asked for anything. She'd be like, you know I have student loans I have to pay. I'm asking for a soda at the store, ma. It costs $1. Like, be for real. Like, Sally Mae really holding you up? Be for real, girl. She's chatting, yo. Yo, my parents are comedians. Cause what? What do you mean? I gotta pay this. I gotta pay that. I gotta pay. You telling me you can't swing $1? Shut up. But either way, like, I was hungry. I was hungry, bro. I was hungry as fuck, bro. And it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. It was really fucking sad. It was sad having to sleep for dinner every fucking night. It sucked. It fucking sucked. It sucked so much. It sucked so much. And like, yeah, it fucking sucked. It fucking sucked. But anyway, what I was gonna say was that, yeah, I go to like Papa John's and stuff, and this is where I kind of test out my charisma and stuff. Like, you know, I'd be like, oh, you know, this is where I think I learned to like start flirting with, like, not even like flirting on purpose, but like start, like, I have like this different attitude. If you ever see me trying to get food or anything, or like trying to get something for free, like a whole different shorty comes out. Like, it's a whole different shorty, a whole different demeanor, a whole very cute, very femme, very sweet, very soft voice, very, all this extra. Not this bitch. This bitch right here, she not the one who's getting free food. if somebody else comes out and she's like, oh my god, like thank you so much, you know, like whole different demeanor. Either way, shorty was coming out, learning the ropes, and she's like, you know, like I'm gonna pay, or like, you know, she's like, she's a few different things, but either way, like she'd be like, I'm gonna be back tomorrow, like, you know, like, and because I would go there like every day, I'd probably go to these places like every day, every week. I'm like, I'm gonna be back tomorrow, like, I'm just put it on my tab, you know what I'm saying, like look, like you give me this free pizza today, you know me, bro, like I'm not gonna, come on, you know me, you know, and you knowed me into mad slices, I'm not gonna lie, like OD slices, OD food, you know me, bro, like, and I meant that shit, and I wanted to pay. I probably owed like $14 by the end of like graduation, but either way, I was trying to eat, bro. I don't know, but yeah, that was pretty much that. Yeah, but that was peak food insecurity, at least at that moment. And then when I started to live with my, like, then, like, you know, we moved away and my dad, like, got with a new person, and who is my current stepmom, like, and she's cool and she could cook, you know, that's the real, yo, that was the first, like, once I found out she could cook, I'm like, she's in my good graces, like, she's, yeah, bro, she's great, and she is a cool person, I love her, but it's just like, damn, like, she feeds me, like, praise God, like, this is what I've been waiting for. So yeah, she would cook and stuff, and like that was good, you know, but like we still weren't like, we were still pinching pennies, you know what I'm saying, like money was not flowing the way it used to. And that was just a lot of like, so food insecurity in that moment was more like, you know, we just didn't really always have money to buy groceries or to buy like things to eat or whatever, and like I was trying to kind of teach myself to cook a little bit, or like let my dad teach me a little bit, you know, or like pay attention a little more, but it was a little difficult, but I tried my best, you know. And there was this thing that my stepmom loved making, chicken and potatoes. Like, I love me potatoes and I loved me some chicken. Like, I don't eat chicken no more, I don't eat meat no more, but loved. And I remember this one time sitting with my little sister, because it was just me and her at the, like, in the crib, and like she was hungry again, and man, I love to eat and she loved to eat too, bro, like, and I was like, ugh. I knew she wanted more food. I was like, alright, let me chill, we probably both only had like 2 pieces of chicken each, you know what I'm saying, there was probably 3 pieces of chicken total, a few potatoes on the side. I wanted chicken, she wanted chicken, I had 1 chicken, she had 1 chicken, we had some potatoes, there's 1 piece of chicken left, you know what I'm saying, it's her or me. I knew she was still hungry. Eat the chicken, babe. You can have it. Here's your second meal. No more food in the fridge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. And I never had a problem doing that for her because she's my little sister. She's a child. I love her. Like, she's 6 years younger than me, but I'm in high school, so at that time, you know, she's still, like, she's like a person, you know. She's like 9 or something. And it's just like, you know, I love her. Like, no sacrifice is too much. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but, yeah. I feel like we say that sometimes, but we don't always act on that. A note to self. But either way, yeah, like, at least in that moment, for sure, I was like, it's not like I'm about to eat this food in front of her. Like, even when I wanted to split the chicken, I'd just maybe take a little piece. I'd be like, alright, you eat the rest. Like, enjoy. Yeah, no, it's good. You're good. You know what I'm saying? And then we go back to, like, playing Minecraft or something. But damn, was I hungry, bro. And then after that, when I started living with my mom, it was like, it really was just a selfish type of thing that made, like, same, but pretty much almost same with my stepmom. Because my mom could cook, though. My mom could actually cook. Like, she could save me. She could save me. Chose not to. That was, like, that's just peak selfishness. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, you was living by yourself and on your lonely, and, like, this is her after she definitely been quit the whole mom job. Like, bro, like, it's giving roommates, but I want the mom title because I want to be in charge. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, alright, relax. And we used to argue a lot. And then I started learning, like, why am I arguing with her? Why am I arguing with her? I used to okay the fuck out of her after that. Like, and then I started to try and just be, like, very, like, sympathetic or something, or empathetic, and just kind of really just listen. But it was really never good enough, you know? It was never going to be good enough. And it is what it is, because I'm not here to please nobody. But, you know, at some point, I really think I was trying to. Like, it cut off again, but I wasn't talking this time, so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get close to wrapping this up. But basically, that was kind of like my trials and tribulations with food insecurity. Like, sometimes it was like, we just didn't have the fucking bread. Other times it was to feed enough people or like to feed us and whatever. Like, just didn't have the bread, one. Which resulted in like, survival crimes. Which I will never condemn. And, uh, stuff like that. Or just sacrifices or just going to bed hungry for real. And then there were like more like selfish sorts of like food insecurity that came about that would like could have been prevented and could have, I could have been protected as a child, but I wasn't. And I had to face these things, you know. And basically what I really wanted to talk about with that was just the fact that like the stuff that it does to you later, like I wouldn't say exactly, it's not to this day, but it's definitely like on a much smaller level. But like the thing was is just, especially in high school, like I really, oh my god, bro, there's actually one more instance. So right, my mom, she would like she would send me $10 for the week. I used to go to a school where we would go outside to eat, to get lunch. Maybe it was me being bougie and not wanting to just stay inside, but either way, I went to school in Soho, like expensive ass area. Went to high school in Soho. I'm going outside to eat. I'm getting $10 a week to eat food. If there was a dollar, there was a dollar pizza slice place, but I'm supposed to eat pizza every day. But either way, it just didn't work out because it's like $10 period, and I was going from state to state. She always made sure I had the bus passes to go from, because she lived in Jersey, and so I lived with her in Jersey, but I absolutely refused to uproot my entire life and move to Jersey. Yuck. No ma'am. I was like, if I have to do this, I'm gonna do this. So we found a way, whatever. Bus in the morning, afternoon, late, whatever, you know what I'm saying, or train, whatever. It was like New Jersey Transit, that's like PATH trains and shit like that. She worked for them, still do. So doesn't matter. Point is, she would make sure I have the bus passes so I could come back and forth. But like, I also never wanted to be at home. It was a horrible, toxic environment. So it was a bad environment for me to live in. And so I never wanted to be at home. And because I didn't want to be at home, basically, I would always be outside. And so, like, if I'm always outside, like, at some point you get hungry. You get hungry, and, like, I have $10 that come in on a Thursday, mind you. So maybe I save up, let's say, whatever, I have $10 for the week, direct deposited to my account. And I didn't really know how to budget, I'm not gonna lie. I was not good with money. Like, a lot of the time, like, my mom had given me, I think I don't even remember for real. Like, she would give me money sometimes, but then she stopped giving me money. And all it was the $10 a week. And my dad, I would have to ask my dad for money, who I wasn't living with at the time. And he would send me money and stuff, but I wasn't a good budgeter. Like, I was blowing through cash, I'm not gonna lie. Like, word to everything. Like, he was the GOAT for sending me money and making sure I was good, but I definitely could have did a better job at actually making sure the money lasted. I tried my best, I really did. A bit. But, like, I didn't have any means to, like, know. Like, I just didn't know how to really, I didn't know what I was doing. But, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah. And it was like, my mom was fine with, like, sending me out the crib with no money. Knowing I would be out the house all damn day. Like, when I get back, she would be asleep. Yo, that's crazy to me. Like, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. What's cool with sending me out the crib with no money, ain't cool with not having no food for me to eat when I get back. Okay. So, either way, I'm out all day, right? Because I gotta wake up early to catch this bus. I go to school. School lasts till maybe 3 o'clock. I get out of school. Now I'm headed over to my after school shits, because I was doing absolutely everything I could to not get home until like mad late, or maybe I'll go to my at the time my boyfriend's house or something, or maybe I'll go here or maybe I'll go there. Like, it don't matter where the fuck I'm going somewhere. Right? This takes my swipes from my Metro card, you know what I'm saying? This takes my student swipes from my Metro card. Now I'm hopping off train. Now I'm hopping, like, and we all hop, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, damn, like, I'm really hopping because I'm trying to go everywhere, but also I'm hopping because by the time, like, I get home, the swipes don't work no more. You know what I'm saying? And the swipes don't even work for New Jersey, like PATH train transit, whatever. Like, it don't work for it. And PATH train is like New York to New Jersey, and New Jersey to New York. Like, it's just, it goes a few stops, whatever. But yeah, like, that don't work. Like, it don't work for them, and there was really nothing I could do. So it was just like, after I got out of all these programs, and like, maybe they feed me, maybe they give me a snack, maybe I had to like barter some food, or maybe I had to go all around New York City, you know, go to bro, I remember days I would be a Trader Joe's got built by our school in Soho. I remember the days we would go over there, bro, $2 to my name. I'm leaving with a few free samples, delicioso, free samples, busted it down. Then I would leave with like some sort of bread. I love bread. I would leave with some sort of bread that costs like 69 cents. I leave with a water cost like 70 cents. Bro, Trader Joe's was the cheapest blessing I could ever ask for, bro. That was deep, bro. I'm leaving with everything I need after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating with the big dogs. I'm eating with the big dogs on $2. Like, I felt so good. But I really definitely have a ode to NYC, like, samples or something, because like, I literally would go around New York, different parts, wherever the hell I was, like, they have samples or there's food stuff or whatever. Free samples really was feeding me, making sure I didn't have to go to sleep hungry. So yeah, and then my charisma when I was like at taco trucks or something. But yeah, I've definitely like, yeah, I've had my share of like, you know, flirting with little, and it's just like, it's just wild. Like, I remember I flirted, like, this was like probably senior year of high school. I remember flirting with this like guy who worked at Chipotle, strictly because he worked at Chipotle. He asked me to like, whatever, he gave me food. You know, one time he was like, make sure you come back anytime you want. I come back, I text him, I ask him, you know, like, where you at, like, whatever, are you at your job? Bro, he's there, and then he's like taking off his apron about to leave. I'm like, you know, to take me, like, we're gonna walk outside or something. I'm like, wait, I'm hungry. That's all I came for. He's like, oh, you want some food? I'm like, yeah. So he gives me food. Then he's taking off his apron, you know, we're both walking outside. He's like, yeah, so like, where you want to go, you know, like, and it's not even like we're about to do something. He really want to shoot the shit with me. And I'm like, oh no, I actually have to go to this program. I did have to go to the program. Probably not yet, but mister, I don't need you outside your uniform. If you're not in the establishment you work where you sell food, you can't help me. But that's really who it like had to, like, that's who I had to become, like, to eat. Like, eating such a fucking basic necessity. How sick, how sad. But either way, $10 a week did nothing for me. And of course I was grateful to have $10 when you know, it's the first day with $10. I'm like, I got $10. I could spend whatever I want on anything. And then I do that, and then tomorrow I'm counting change. The next day I'm counting change, like, and I got so cool with all the like bodega people by my school. They were like, it's okay, you can have it, like, it's okay, go ahead, eat, like, you don't got enough, it's okay, you know what I'm saying? They were really kind-spirited people, and I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, like, yeah, I was struggling, but I feel like there was another point I was gonna come to. Point is, I was always out the crib. Food was not secure. And so basically, something I realized, you know, when I came to college and, you know, freshman year and stuff like that, people say, like, I don't know what they say, freshman 50, freshman 40. I think that's it. Like, you know, you come to school, there's always free food and stuff, and you eat it, and now you gain 40 pounds. Bro, I definitely was on that wave. Hallelujah. Or freshman 15. I think it was freshman 15. Either way, I gained pounds, okay? I gained pounds, but like, I gained pounds like in a nice way. Like, it wasn't OD crazy or nothing like that. Like, I gained more pounds than I am right now. I'm like 125, but I gained like, I was like at 140 at one point. I was like, wow, I'm a meaty baby. It was nice, actually. But either way, yeah, like, I was like, it's just, I feel like people like at my school now, because like the pandemic and everything, like, it changed how much free food is on the campus, and like we're getting back into it about free food and like, you know, whatever, and like events and having food and food being everywhere and actual food instead of just snacks. But when I first came to this campus, food was everywhere. Oh my god, the dining hall, even though the dining hall was kind of trash, some days the dining hall was amazing. The other dining hall, the other dining hall, like everything. I was like, food, 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 food. It was so nice. But the problem was, like, because I came from like a food insecure background, like I was used to eating past the point of being full. Like I was used to just eating as much as I could. Mind you, I'm getting unlimited swipes. I'm getting, like, you know, it's buffet style pretty much everywhere. I'm getting, like, you know, I could get whatever I want. Like, food is in my face, and it's just like, you know, I still had the mentality, like, that was like in me, that was like rooted in me, like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat next. So it was just like, and this was something I was talking about on my TikTok, like, basically, like, I couldn't even feel when I was full, for real. Like, I would just eat. I would just keep eating because it was like, this is here, this is what, like, I need to eat one. But it's like, you know, I need to make sure I'm good for like tomorrow, or like, or however long I'm not gonna fucking have enough food to fucking, you know, like, I just didn't. It just felt like my stomach had a black hole, and like I was just filling it, so that, you know, maybe later, like, I'd be fine. Which is sad. We don't have to label these things, but it's sad. But yeah. That was something I had to, and it was something I ended up realizing later on. Like, I was like, damn, like, I would feel times where I'm like I would, like, I still get this sometimes now. Like, I'll be eating, and like I'll be eating, and I'm like, and I'm like, okay, like, I think I'm done, like, you know what I'm saying? But then there's like, I could get up from the plate of food, and then my stomach will still be like, give me more, like, eat more, and I'm like, we just ate, you know, like, that was a filling ass meal, like, we don't need no more. And it's just like, eat more. So like, the way I kind of transitioned out of it was like kind of waiting at least 10-15 minutes for my stomach to like realize, okay, we're not eating anymore, it's chill. And that was enough. And that was enough. And there's gonna be some tomorrow, there's gonna be some later, there's gonna be more food, you know. But it's like, damn, like, that's just a rollover effect that I had to just take with me, and it's not completely gone. Like, it's not completely gone. Like, only just recently I started to be like, okay, like, I'm eating my food, I look at my plate, and like, everything on the plate is not done, but I'm like, I'm done, and I don't have to eat all of this if I don't want all of this, and that's okay, and that's okay, and there will be more later. And it's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a hard thing for a lot of people too, because a lot of times we're told to finish our plate and all this other crazy stuff. It's just like, damn, listen to your body. How about that? How about we tell people to listen to their body? You know, if my body says I'm done, then let's pack up the food. Let's pack up the food and put it in the fridge. If I want it later, I'll eat it later. If the food is not good, I'm not eating it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like, it's crazy. And I get it, you know, like, the world can be wasteful and stuff and all that, but forcing people to eat, forcing people to eat, forcing people into circumstances where they don't have food or have enough food. It's just like all these things about, like, food is so important, but like, just like everything else, like, access to food and all that stuff just can be so abused, and like, it's just everything is weird, man. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I feel like that's really what I want to say about food insecurity. Like, that's what I had to say, and if you can relate, please say something in the comments. But yeah, I think nowadays I feel better, like, I mean, you know, like, I feel better about, like, eating, but, like, you know, sometimes I really am hungry and something really fucking trigger me, you know, like, when I feel like I don't have enough access to good food, because here I am on campus, you know, there's food, but sometimes the food is trash, and sometimes all the food is trash, and it's like, oh my god, like, and then it takes me to a kind of a spiral, like, it kind of takes me, like, back to that feeling, like, bro, I need to tell y'all, ooh, that's probably what my next video could be about, but either way, I need to tell y'all about, like, I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and that's kind of why, like, I've been a little less, like, punctual with posting these, but also, like, my face was so swollen, guys. My face was, anyway, I've also been less punctual because, you know, the semester is ending and I have like more things to do. So please forgive me. You know, I'm posting every time I can, and I really do enjoy making these videos. I just gotta be in the mood to make them. Back to the wisdom teeth. But basically, my whole face was mad swollen. I had taken all 4 of them out at the same time. Absolutely awful. But really the most awful part was being triggered again about food insecurity, because you can't eat as much as you want to. You can't eat as much as you want to when your face is that fucking swollen, when your teeth are like that and all that stuff. Like, you can only eat certain foods. I really like food with textures, turns out, and I didn't realize that until I couldn't eat them. But I don't like mashed potatoes, bro. I don't like mashed potatoes, and I always knew I didn't like it because it's too creamy, bro. I like chunky mashed potatoes. I like biting into stuff. I like, you know, ice cream. Like, my favorite ice cream used to be like butter pecan. You know what I'm saying? It's smooth, it's nice, but it also has crunchy parts in it. You know, like, I need that texture. And I was not supposed to eat nothing really with texture, and I couldn't even bite things really. I couldn't even, not bite, but I couldn't like chew things. And it was so triggering. And even all the food that I could let down my like fucking throat, like that would go down, was probably this much of my entire plate. Like, and my plate could be big. It don't matter how much food I put on that plate. Only this much was going down. And by the time stuff actually go down, like, my stomach was like, one, annoyed. My mouth was annoyed. I was tired. I was exhausted from trying. Like, and I felt so hungry. I was in such a bad mood. And I get in a horrible mood when I'm hungry. Like, hangry is not the word. Like, it's worse. But yeah, I felt so triggered. Like, I really felt like I was back in the Bronx starving. So yeah. Anyways, that's that. Feed kids, man. Feed kids. Protect kids. Protect kids. Because this shit is not cute. This shit is not cute. And being an adult, because I'm an adult now, which is crazy. Being an adult who like has to reflect, or has reflected, and has taken time to reflect, which is something that is important, on like just the shit I've been through, and just the circumstances I've lived through, and like what I've had to live through. It's just like, you know, I know my kids, like, absolutely, like, no, like, I'm gonna do everything to make sure their lives are absolutely gorgeous, incredible, luxurious. Like, and it's not even luxurious like quality of life, you know what I'm saying? Not even luxurious money wise. Like, it can be, but it's like, you're gonna know you're well taken care of, and you're gonna feel that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're always gonna feel that. There's never gonna be a moment you don't feel that. And that's the goal. And you're gonna feel protected, and you're gonna know who you can come to at all times. Always. But yeah, so it's about that time to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this was kind of a little all over the place, because I did the whole like freestyle thing again, but I really did come in knowing I wanted to talk about food insecurity and stuff like that. Dabbled a little bit on my parents, and I'm probably gonna dabble a little bit more every time we get into these stories, because they're very like interconnected. And if you're not okay with hearing that, like, don't watch this channel. Because it is what it is, and I'm not gonna feel silence. I'm not gonna be silenced for it. I'm not gonna silence myself for family. I'm not gonna silence myself for anybody. Like, my experiences are mine, and you know, like, I feel like if more people felt like they could talk about their experiences regardless of who was watching or who wasn't watching or whoever, you know what I'm saying, then we'd all be in a better fucking place. Maybe if we could just be a little more honest with each other, we'd be better. Anyway. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I know that you guys don't engage with me as much as I would like in the comments, but I'm very grateful that you watch, because I see you guys watching. And I'm gonna continue to do this, and you let me know anything you want to hear about, or you know, whatever. But I think I'm gonna continue with these type of topics, delving into a little bit of trauma. And it is trauma, but it's like, I really like, you know, delving into some just topics that I feel like are important to talk about, you know, that I right now have a personal connection to. And then after that, we'll probably get into topics that I don't personally have a connection to that are still important. And they really, I feel like they're probably always gonna have to do with children in a way, you know, because I really care about kids. I love kids. Either way, thank you so much. Feel free to leave a comment about anything you relate to in this video, or like, you know, just anything you want to say. I'm cool with anything. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe, like this video, share with your friends, and just thank you. If I'm not your favorite YouTuber yet, I will be. I'll see you guys.